What is going on, y'all? Welcome to episode 5 of the Golden Hour with Rose Golden. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling alive and really powerful, just in time for this conversation about main character energy. This concept became very popular in 2020 on TikTok when people realized that they were not playing the main character in their lives. What that means is that you are the main character in your story, in your book. You are not the understudy. You are not the sidekick. You call the shots. You make the rules, you make the decisions. There was nobody else I could have thought better than to have a conversation with someone I love to death. He won't call himself this, but he's one of the most kind-hearted and genius creative consultants I know, Mr. Tito Orjih. Enjoy the show. We're gonna get the hell started. So what is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Hour with Rose Golden. I am your host, Rose Golden, and today I am just really excited already for this conversation that we are about to have with an amazing soul helper, trailblazer, just amazing human being, Tito Orjih. Cue the applause. Oh, God.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
One of these days, we're going to get like a
button?
Like an iCarly thing,
yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to iCarly.
Dang. So, Tito.
Yes.
Thank you for coming. Again, I'm super
having
honored to have you on the show. So, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling really good. I am kind of just, talking to you before the show. Mm-hmm. Just thank you for the good vibes, good energy.
Yeah.
I'm just ready to talk.
Word. What's your word? What's your word for the day?
What's my word for the day?
What's your word for the day?
I think the word of the day for me right now is follow through. Yeah, I would say follow through and/or focus. Just kind of focusing on the mission that you've set and follow through and finishing on that. You know what I'm trying to say, D-Ray? Shout out to D-Ray.
Stay tuned, network.
Villanova, stay tuned, you feel me? But yeah, bro, when you think to I'm not really a big basketball player. I had the dribble game, the speed, I just couldn't shoot. And I learned later on that I was releasing too fast. So it's just
no focus.
Not looking at the rim, just kind of just throwing it up there, because I was like, oh shit, I look so good. You can't touch me.
Yeah.
Right? And
you look away.
Look my opponent in the face, bitch. But yeah, so I think the word of the day is focus and look at that. Yeah, look at your follow.
I'm already crying. Okay. Dang. Amazing. Well, I'm glad to hear. Thank you. So, I know I didn't really tell you too much about what the, episode was about, but again, because I really wanted, your authentic answers.
Yes.
But today we are talking about main character energy. That is the theme on today. Before we get started, though, I did want to just talk a little bit about, Tito, okay?
Yes, hit me.
So Tito is a creative entrepreneur and an entertainment engineer. You help artists and influencers bring their creative ideas to life, okay?
Yes.
You are the co-founder of TikTok TV, where you offer services for creatives ready to make their voice heard. Period. I caught that, okay?
Research.
You are set on helping creatives take their ideas from their head to the studio to the world. So you do a lot. You are a thought leader. You are a helper. So can you just walk me through what made you get to the work that you're in today?
That's a great question. I have to give all thanks to God first. Shout out to G-O-D. And then after God would be my mother, really. Single mom. My father left my life when I was 12. And she was just very adamant. She was the first of 6 kids. My grandfather had 12, but she was like the first of the 6, my grandmother's side. She's just very adamant about like, when you take care of yourself, take care of your brother. So I had a younger brother, his name's Great Orjih. It's really fun. I'm so serious, can't make this up. There's Tito Orjih and then there's Great Orjih. We can talk about that later.
I just thought about every like family
get together in every school. Every teacher.
God bless them. You know. Shout out Great.
Shout out to Great, man. Because like having the name Great is not an easy task. It is really not.
Right.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. But it was always like she was very much just if I cook for your brother. If I dress myself, dress your brother. Anything I did you do this for your brother and your family? So like that was ingrained into me at a very young age, and I used to play a lot of sports, like team-based sports, so football, track, where it's just like I was an individual doing my individual job, but it's for the greater team. And when I went into college, it was just like I had to put the sports away because I had to make the decision of whether to go to sports or for books, and I chose to go into the books, and it didn't satisfy me. I was just like, I really need this camaraderie. I really need to work with people like myself. And I started discovering the artist in me, right? And I then started to discover that other people struggle with the artist in themselves and getting it out. And that's where I found my opportunity, where it was just like, you have these ideas, you have these thoughts. As an engineer, my job was to take, ideas from in here and bring them to real life. And so I was just like, you know what? I can do this for other people. And I started to find out, like, selfishly, like, it made me feel good. Like, I was just like, I get enjoyment when you're happy that your idea came to life. And that's where that all kind of started out.
So you said entertainment engineer is what I see. So what exactly is the difference between that and just like regular engineer?
I'm not really big on titles, but at the same time, I like titles because like I started to discover that it's not someone's duty to give you a title.
Right.
No one's gonna crown you like, hey, you go, you're okay, congrats. Nah, you gotta give that to yourself. So like I always struggled with like what type of, I knew I was an engineer because like I went to school for mechatronics engineering, got the degree, but I was like, I'm not in the box of this type of engineer. Like I know I'm the type of person where it's like, I like to take ideas, make and turn them into reality. That's literally the job of an engineer. But what type of engineer am I? And it's entertainment. It's very all-encompassing. Like if you're an influencer, an entertainer, a creator, somebody that is involved in entertaining somebody, there's a process of getting to that. And that's what I assist you with. And so that's where I kind of came up with the whole entertainment engineer, is that like you want to be on the stage, you want to make someone laugh, you're a comedian. All right, you're going to need to write jokes. You're not going to go up there and freestyle.
Right.
You need to figure out what your brand is, how it's going to look. You need to figure out what shows you're going to perform at. You're going to perform in black, white crowds, yellow crowds. Like who is your demographic? These are conversations that you need to have.
Yeah.
And then like that's where the whole business development in me and the whole entrepreneur and like instinct comes in, where it's just like, all right, you now have this beautiful, am I, if I take this real quick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this as an analogy.
Okay.
Your idea is this.
Okay.
To make a pretzel, right? You're not gonna sell someone an individual pretzel. You gotta put a couple pretzels in a bag, put a nice little brand, Snyder's, 100-calorie pack, mini pretzels, put this in the store with the other pretzels, and then tell people to go buy your pretzels.
Right. That's your bag now, by the way.
That's my bag.
That's your bag.
Yes. So like, just to give you an idea, like, so that's where it's kind of like, it came into, I was like, okay, so you are, as creators, like we hate being told like, put someone in a box. Now you don't gotta put yourself in a box, but you gotta put a part of you in a package. You gotta package something. You've gotta package it, because if not, you're just this individual, you're a material.
Right. Wow, that makes too much sense.
It makes too much sense.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Dang. Okay, so you really beautifully already mentioned the topic that we're about to roll into, which is about being an agent in your own life and about not waiting for somebody, something, some institution to, like you said, crown you and kind of give you what you're supposed to be doing in life. So which is basically exactly what main character energy is about. So I feel like for you, although you are a helper, I feel like you very much so embody this main character energy, because Tito's work is still going to get done. Right. Yeah. So it's like, yes, I'm going to help you do your vision, but I also need to make sure that I am putting myself first in this as well. So in the conversation of main character energy, I'll read Shannon Boodrum's shout out to Shan Boodrum, yo.
Shannon.
Yes.
I know who you are.
Oh, she's a sex expert, just like an amazing overall woman. Just shout out to you. So
that world is just not touched enough.
Sex expert, right?
Sex.
No,
like,
yeah.
And it's the most. If it's like that's where we all came from, people.
We gotta talk about it.
Why are we not?
Talk about it. And she does such a good job with it and just articulating herself and her thoughts. But with main character energy, it became super trendy in 2020, and her definition of it is a foundational concept based on a series of principles that you apply so that you are able to connect with other people as well as take lessons from the inevitable disconnections that you will face with humans. Goddamn.
Bars.
It says, change does not frighten me, and I am not defined by my challenges. So, in speaking of main character energy, is this something that you've heard before?
This is the first when you talked to me about like this, I think being like a kind of a theme, it was the first time I heard it. But it's like, it's very, I love stories and I love movies and I love like characters. So when you said main character, I was like, yeah, I could see, I see it and I see it now. And like for some reason I saw like some type of like something like this, right? Like the main character is in the beginning, but there's all these other characters that come behind, like Ninja Turtles. The main character sure was Leonardo, the blue Ninja Turtle, but in technicality they all kind of were characters or main characters to an extent in their own lives.
Right. Which is, I think, exactly where the conversation comes from and how it almost became controversial because what people first explained this energy as is that I am the agent in my own life. I am not the understudy in my story. I am the one who is writing my own story, and I am the main character in my story. Where what I think it started to turn into was like, well, not everybody can be a main character, and this and that, and it's like, I do understand where that came from, but I think at the end of the day, what this trend is saying is that in our own lives, in my life, I have to be the main character in my life, and I cannot rely on
somebody
anybody
else to be the main character in your life. And go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask about like your thoughts about this main character energy that you just learned about.
I'm so thankful for you for bringing this up because I feel like it's kind of put a title to a lot of the feelings I feel, especially working with younger adults. So like, I'm 25 and like my team is all younger than me, right? And like one of the things about like is it Gen Z? Yeah, the Gen Zers, right? Is that
y'all different? Y'all are really different.
Really different.
Just letting you know, in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. And I'm considered a zillennial, so I'm in between like the millennials and the Zs, right? And it's so interesting because these Gen Zers, like, they have this level of like, how do I say, their expectations from the world are just unrealistic.
Yeah.
The expectations that they have for themselves, unrealistic, right? But they do have this like hypervigilance to be older than they actually are. Like they want to feel and be older.
And they be looking older now.
And they be looking older, yeah.
I don't know what's in the breast milk nowadays.
It's the whole milk.
When I was 12, I did not look like how these 12-year-olds are.
Yo, bro, like a friend of mine went to Pride and she was like, she said two of the shawties that she talked to looked like grown-ass fucking women. She asked the age, 16. What? She's like, yo, these children can't be in grown events like this. I'm like, bro, that is crazy.
Y'all need an awkward stage too.
Y'all need an awkward stage.
We got the demi knees, okay? The low-rise jeans, the jerking if we have to, okay?
Bring it on. Jerking?
Jerking, like literally.
Bro, I was part of a jerking group. It's like, no,
Pin drop? Right. Yeah. I definitely agree that Gen Z is very much so, a part of that. But what were your
comes with that, and what comes with that is that they have this like, they don't know how to respect hierarchy. Mm-hmm. They have a real hard time respecting hierarchy, and it's interesting, right? It's a hard hit, because I'm gonna just kind of like put it out there. It's just like, look, like I'm a firm believer of like respect the hierarchy, and what that means is like, look, you may not be on the top, you may not be at the bottom, but recognize there's someone above you and there's someone below you. So you are responsible to be led and to lead. You know?
Wow.
It's fucking and I sit with these thoughts because like it's playing football, running track. You can be the fastest person in your school. You can be the best wide receiver in your school. Go meet somebody that will dust you on the fucking field from a different district. You're like, where the fuck did you come from? And so you gotta be able to like respect it, because like I had my school's record. I was the top like hurdler in my school. And then you go into districts, you go to states, you're like, who the fuck are these motherfuckers?
Yeah. You're
looking around like I'm in the number one heat with the fastest people in the state. Yeah. I had to respect that Bull got more work than me. He's faster than me. I can run as fast as I can, to the point where I'm pulling my hamstrings.
Yeah.
And he's still doing his thing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No matter as much as I cry and beg and feel like I deserve the gold, this person has worked harder for it. This person's put more time into it. They've stretched their body further than I have. I had to respect that hierarchy. And I learned from that. I learned how to be better.
Yeah. That to me made me think of the responsibility that we have in this life. Because I love what you said about how there's always somebody who's going to know more than you or be smarter than you or whatever.
Have more time invested.
Right. But you also are ahead of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I really appreciate that, especially as, somebody who has struggled with like imposter syndrome of like, I don't really know if I, know enough to, talk about this, but then also it's like, all right, then learn more.
And that's the biggest shout out to you for doing this, because like you're really just taking that initiative. You're bringing yourself out of your comfort zone. You're creating, you're not waiting for someone to say, Rose, here's your show.
Bro, and that was exactly what I was like, look, I knew I always wanted a talk show.
Yes.
So I'm giving myself a damn talk show.
Giving yourself the talk show. You are validating yourself, you're affirming your actions, you're following through with it, you're focusing, and then you're bringing people in here that are like, you're looking across, are on the same level, exactly where you're at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And you're saying like, I see you, I recognize you, I want to bring you up with me.
Yeah.
Because it is not lonely at the top if you bring your peoples with you. It's not. Like the whole like it's lonely at top only comes from these motherfuckers who be killing the people that help them like get to the top. Like it is not. I will tell you as someone who's like, and I can say this is like been on the top when it comes to like winning and things like that. Like, there's typically 3 winners. Right. There's a gold medal, the gold, silver, and a bronze. There's typically 3 winners.
Yeah, wow.
It's not just like one person sitting at the and that's where it kind of comes into the whole like respect the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Right? Is that like, if you're not a winner now, doesn't mean that you won't ever be a winner. But if you think you're never gonna, if you're hating on the people that are the winners now, and you're just like, why can't it be me? Why can't it? You will never be a winner. No, yeah. You will never be able to sit at that table.
No, yeah.
Never.
And I love that. I love that so much, especially with, I just want to thank you. Like, thank you very much for saying that. Yeah, I didn't. Like, yes, I'm here talking about you, but again, it was very affirmed that, like, we are meant to be having this conversation together.
You made this happen.
Thank you. Yeah. So with that, in terms of being the main character, how do you feel like you are showing up in your own life in terms of this topic?
So I feel like the way I'm showing up in my own personal life is really recognizing, if I bring it back to the whole hierarchy, recognizing that, like, I've recognized the people above me, right? It's now recognizing that I have to lead the ones under me. Like I am at the age when I was 12, 13, 14, where I was like, I wish that I could have someone as cool as me, who understands me, to like connect with me, but just at a further level than me. I'm at that age now. I'm the person I wanted to be when I was 13. And it's kind of humbling because I'm just like, oh shit. Got my own place. I work for myself. I'm self-employed.
Talk your shit. Go ahead.
I work for a really great creative company
Yeah.
that just enables my creativity, and I'm surrounded by dope people. Yes, I want more money, but like, let's talk about that in the 30s and the 40s. But like, yeah, like, I'm who I wanted to be when I was 13, and so now I think it's really time for me to sit down and like talk to those 13-year-olds, talk to those 15-year-olds, and be like, look, I see you, I recognize you. I've literally been there. Like, I could tell you vividly what I felt when I was 13, 14. You know, because it was just literally like, let's say 10 years ago. Like, it wasn't that far.
I was 16.
It's not that. It's like crazy to think, like 16-year-old Rose thinking of like the woman you wanted to be. Wanted to talk to.
She would be, she would be kind of proud.
She would be.
I'm not gonna hold you. She'd be.
See the glow up right now. See the outfit. You're like, damn, shawty.
But honestly, if I were to say what the most exciting part of doing the show is the outfits.
It's the outfits, yes. She go.
She go. Very, 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 very much so. Yeah. No, thank you for that.
Yeah.
That was great.
So I would say that's how I'm kind of doing it. It's just recognizing that it's like it's my turn to lead. Like, and I think another analogy that really helps me understand this is like when you go to church and you see those people, the pastors on the podium, and they're preaching to you. I always ask myself the question. I always ask questions. Why do you get to teach me about this? Why you? Is it like the guy really just come down and shine a whoo? Oh no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Right. But why you? And then I started to realize, okay, I see. You're older. You're wiser. You've spent more time with that book than I have. Like, you dedicated yourself to this shit.
Yeah.
You were once in my position, sitting here, looking up at the pastor, and you asked the same question I did, and then you went into that book and you learned what you need. There's a whole Bible schools. So I'm like sitting here and I'm like, okay, so that's kind of the whole principle. Like, no, I don't want to be a pastor, but I definitely, see myself as someone leading people to where it is that like they want to go. And so in order to do that, you kind of have to get comfortable with being on the stage, because people think being on the stage is nice and glamorous. It's like, no, you're a fucking target, bro. you're a fucking target. Yeah. You're the biggest. The spotlight's on you. Everybody in here is looking right at you. You say something wrong, you do something wrong, you fart wrong. Like, if it's too loud, like they can hear all of that shit. Like, you're right here. It's not so it's I think just like getting into that space and being like, all right, like I'm not here to command, be a commander, or to force you to like
tyrant,
but I'm here to just help you lead your own life.
Yeah. And in that, making sure that you are using your platform for good.
Yes.
Because I am a firm believer that God will put ideas into those he knows will put them into action. True. And whether or not we put that into action for a good thing or a bad thing, that's up to us.
It's
completely up to us.
You make the decision to do that. And it's funny that you say that. Like, again, this is like, I feel like our thoughts on God are very much personal to each person.
Absolutely.
Like, I remember I was in a theology class in college, and this is where I kind of came up with not somebody else's definition of God, but my definition of God and a higher power. But I was like, I really believe God's just up there chilling.
Okay.
Like, I see y'all. I see you doing your thing. I feel it. But there's certain people that are like, Father Lord, give me some energy. Give me your power. He's like, all right, there you go. I don't think he's out here like just boom, boom, boom to everybody. I think you gotta ask for it. You gotta be asked to be plugged in.
Where?
If you don't want to be plugged in, you don't have to be plugged in.
Right.
You just won't get the blessings.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You didn't want it. So like I feel like if you want it, like you gotta ask for it. You gotta like look up and be like, I see you, I recognize you, whatever this higher power is, I'm just trying to get plugged into it.
Yeah. So every good story has a protagonist, an antagonist, and this is a new term I learned, but it's called a deuteragonist. And deuter, I know, because I think it's the way I say it. It's not doo-doo, it's deuter. It's deuter. I think it's D-U-E-T-E-R. Okay? So we know the protagonist is the one who is the, main character that we, are witnessing in the story, that we are rooting for. The antagonist is the person or the thing that is trying to stop the protagonist from completing their mission. And then the deuteragonist is I'm trying to grow up here. I'm trying.
Oh, it's okay.
The deuteragonist, I gotta stop saying it, I think, but I'm gonna say it one more time. The deuteragonist is like the understudy. So think like Donkey to Shrek. Right.
Yeah. And the antagonist was Lord Farquaad.
Damn near.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Exactly. So in understanding that kind of, I'll use hierarchy for lack of better words, it's also important to recognize that in ourselves, we all have also each played each role.
True.
In our own story.
We have.
You know what I'm saying? So for you, are you able to recall time when you have played each different role in your life?
I think I'm going to recall a time where I played the antagonist in my life, because I think that's been the overcoming, like getting to a place to overcome that. But I've played the antagonist in my life, like when I could have told my mom no to college. You know, she made it seem like I had no other option. But yeah, I could have said no, and I could have been like, I have enough value to go out into the real world and, you know, make a living for myself and, like, you know, hustle and, like, get it, right? But I didn't have enough faith in myself. I put all my faith in this fucking degree that I knew I didn't believe in.
Right.
You know, I knew I didn't, but like I want to stress that.
Retweet.
I knew I did not believe that this was gonna, because some people going to college are like, oh, it's gonna get me a job. Like, bro, from day one, I knew this shit wasn't gonna get me the job that I wanted. Like, people be like, what's your dream job? I always knew my dream job was to build my dream job.
I have a dream lifestyle, not a dream job.
Not even a dream. Thank you.
I don't want to work.
I don't. Yes, we are not built to work. As human beings, we are not built to work. We are built to bring joy, add value, eat. You know, add value. Did I say that? Like, it's very important. Like, you know, like, we're not built to go be in an organization. I think Will talks about this, right? Where it was just like modern, like, you know, public school was built to make a worker, right? College was built to make a organization employee. The concept of college, just like the concept of please tell me, credit scores.
Oh, right? Wow, okay. That's was not what I was gonna say.
Yeah, sorry.
At all.
Yeah, but the concept of college, like, you know, an institution of higher education that is moving you to get into a job opportunity at an organization is a fairly new concept as of 2021, right? It's a fairly new concept. Yeah. It's like 100 or something. It's like 100 years old. It's not that big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Before that, we had blue collar workers. Like, you know, like, you go take your skills, build a trade, add value with your trade. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think that's when I really played an antagonist for myself. I think a time when I played the deuteragonist, I said that right? Correct. Would be coming out of college and kind of just like recognizing that while I was in college, because there was a point in college where I dropped out around year 3, and I did a study abroad in Germany, and I did it through my college. But it was where, like, I had the shift of my mindset where I was just like, I was at the Mercedes-Benz, like, museum, and like I literally watched them. It works like this: like, you go to the top of the museum, then you work your way down. So at the top of the museum, it's a horse. A carriage.
Like a real horse?
Like a you know, fake horse.
Okay.
And then you work your way damn near to a flying car at the bottom. And you're like, I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm sitting here like going through learning. I'm like, so you're telling me this motherfucker, his name was Benz, right? His last name was Benz, and the other engineer's name was Daumer. These two guys came up with the first patents for the diesel and the gas engine. The engines. While everybody was walking, these motherfuckers were like, we're gonna build engines. Yeah. Right? So they got these 2 engines, these combustion-based engines, and they made automobiles. While everybody was walking or riding a horse. You were a G if you had a horse. Mind you, an automobile? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So they're like, yo, this is an amazing contraption. Only the richest of the rich can afford this. Like, you know, like, how are we gonna market this? How are we gonna do this? They taught this Turkish engine businessman. Turns out that, like, even though they had the patent, there was other people in the world building automobiles. Yeah. Right? And so his rich friends actually enjoyed racing automobiles. That's what they did in their pastime. So Benz and Daumer teamed up with this businessman, and that's why I learned the ratio of 2 engineers, 1 business. 2 creators, 1 business, right? or 2 business, 1 creator. Either way, you need to have a creator and a business for it to really come together. So guess what happened when Dalmer and Benz teamed up with, I forgot the Turkish guy's name. He named the vehicle after his daughter. Guess the daughter's name? Mercedes. Hence the whole lifestyle of Mercedes-Benz. It was the ratio of the engineer and the businessman. So it was at that point that I started to realize that I had to go back to college. And when I was in college, I was an entrepreneur. So I built 2 businesses. I was just this hybrid student called a student entrepreneur. So like I was involved in like a lot of like the startup-based environment in my college, looking for funding, raised like $21,000. But that was me. I was in the industry of eco-technology, but that was like me being a deuteragonist. Deuteragonist,
yes.
Right? Because like I knew I was in the industry that was not where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Right? But I was just doing it out of like need, but also I was almost supporting an apprentice and supporting an opportunity that I saw was available.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, okay, this could be a way for me to kind of, build my chops and get to a place where I make a bunch of money. And I can invest in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
The business, I had to exit the business because my business partner, she didn't want to be a CEO, long story. But like, yeah, that kind of led into me being the protagonist of my life. And I graduated December 2019, and I really just like, told my mother, I'm like, look, I'm not gonna get an engineering job. I'm just, give me 2 years to really just get this shit together.
Wow.
So yeah, year 1, you're seeing me at the end of year 1.
Yeah.
And like in this last year, like off of like this brain, I was able to make, over $24,000 a year, just like off of creativity. You know what I mean? And being like, I'm putting all of this into this, and I'm fuck a plan B, like fuck a antagonist. I am gonna be, as you would say, the main character of my life. Fuck family expectations.
Yeah.
I'm setting my own expectations. I'm leading myself.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a charge in this. And so after like doing my taxes and talking to my tax man, her telling me like, yeah, Tito.
Really an adult. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Like she was like, you made 24 grand or like, a little over 20. Like, I just had to like really like sit back and be like, dude, that's what happens when you believe in yourself. That's what happens when you kind of like sit down and you are the main character. So like now moving forward, it's just very much me recognizing that and me recognizing that I need to make more money by believing more in myself, but then also I can also help people do this for themselves and monetize their art.
Which is a beautiful segue to my next question.
I say we have this little thing we do.
It's happening. So in congratulations on making that decision, but then also following through with that and just making this year, what it has been for you. So in that, you helping these creatives bring their ideas to life, how do you believe you being the main character in your life affects everybody else around you?
Yeah, thanks. That's a really good question. I would say the people that aren't in my internal circle and in my internal community, it pisses them off. It makes them upset.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, I like that. I do. I love my haters, bro. Like I'm gonna keep it a being. Like it's one of those things where it's like, in order to hate, it means that you took your 2 eyes off of anything else in the world you could have focused on. You looked at me. Thank you.
And then became mad at it. and then was mad at it. Yeah.
And then we're mad, and they continue to look because you're still upset. So instead of being here working and grinding and doing it, because we only have 2 eyes, 2 eyes, 2 hands. Our hands will go where our eyes go naturally. So if I'm looking at this, it's probably gonna be like this, right? So if you're giving me all of this attention because I am the leader of my life and I'm controlling my life, it's like, thank you. You know what? I'm not focused on you. I'm focused on myself. So it's like, but thank you for that energy. So I just gonna put that out there. But for the people that are like, because it's really a mindset thing. It's like, I forgot who said this, but it's like, hate is another form of love. I don't know who said it.
What I've heard is that jealousy is simply inspiration turned, I guess, negative, So like if you're jealous of someone, it's because you aspire or you want what they have. So instead of being inspired by them, you're then, bitter about what they have versus what you don't have. So
exactly.
Is that
and it's basically the same thing, because like here's another thing about jealousy is that jealousy is a you problem. It's not a me problem. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm just doing me. If doing me makes you jealous, again, you jealous, that's a you problem, right? So that just really helps me mindset-wise to kind of keep myself going. But for the people that are in my internal circle, the people that are in my direct community, the people like that I'm touching, like, I'm very present. I make sure that I am adding value. I'm adding value to the point where it's just like I'm overextending myself, and that's why I learned, okay, this is where I gotta pull back at. Boundaries. Literally, I've discovered boundaries. Did not know they existed until I started to work with creatives that expected every little inch of, you from them, and still wasn't fucking enough. So
Judy B. Jones and the Bees for Boundaries, maybe literally damn near. So but I've been pretty fortunate and like adamant about just getting myself surrounded around people who again in my close circle are very much, they understand the value I bring, and they're to a point where they're able to be like, Tito, you're giving too much to certain people. Like, don't let me know. Like Nia, she'll let me know. Emma, she'll let me know. Like, like women, like I just have a deep respect for supportive women, because that's what I was raised by. My aunts, my mother, my grandmother, like supportive women. Shout out to the women. Shout out to the women, yo. Shout out to the women, bro. Like we cannot do it without you. Like we really can't do it. And as men, healthy men, not toxic men, healthy men, right? I feel like it is our duty to support our women and to claim our women as well. Like, don't claim the support, claim the people, like validate those people that, have been there and helped you. Like, don't take ownership. That's the difference, but claim the responsibility, right? So I feel like it showed up in me just really, in me being very present, and them also recognizing and telling me that because of your presence in my life, this is the value added to it. Wow, that's amazing. That was a beautiful way to kind of just seal everything. So I definitely know I took a lot of things away from this conversation. Same. I also hope you did as well.
Oh yeah, main character, all this deuteragonist or deuteragonist. We're learning some new things. So last couple things to do. I learned what the uterus was. What happened? I learned what the uterus was.
What the uterus
was? The difference with the uterus and the small intestine.
Baby is kept.
Not the stomach.
When it is, in a woman. It is not the stomach.
No, it's not the stomach.
It's okay. So, one last, or you know what? Let's do my one last question first, and then I'll go to this one. But what is one thing on your journey to being the Tito that we see right now? What is one main thing that you have had to unlearn throughout this journey?
Yeah, I've had to unlearn toxic masculinity, a lot of toxic masculinity based things. So things based in my perception of, women in my life and their expectations. So unlearning that, women have more value than sex, right? Unlearning that a woman is not my property. She's an autonomous human being who's able to do whatever it is that she needs to do. Also unlearning, I'm very competitive. Unlearning when and when not to be competitive. I you know what I'm trying to say?
From store to door,
exactly. It's not. It's like there's for when you have people in your life that you value and you're here to add value. Competitiveness can quickly turn into, oh, you got that before me, now I'm jealous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So I was just being able to unlearn those kind of things, and then learn how to be a healthy masculine man, that, because that's weird. Toxic masculinity is something that's talked about a lot, to the point where it's you almost forget that, you start to think that being masculine is toxic. No, there is healthiness in masculinity. You just have to address it, huh?
See you, what up, nigga?
That's that tarantula.
That's tarantula. The tarantula's talking again.
Right.
All masculinity is not toxic.
Yeah, but no, all masculinity is not toxic. It's just, again, unfortunately, there is a lot of toxic masculinity, but it doesn't mean that healthy masculinity does not exist. Right. I've also learned how to bring out the leaders in people, but also to delegate. That's been my hardest hurdle, is because I'm the type of leader where it's just I'm like, yo, look at me, I'm gonna do, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just do. Sometimes I don't even care if you're looking, I'm just doing, right? But it's kind of gotten to the point where it's like, I have to now get to a point where it's like, all right, here are the instructions, I'm gonna watch you do it.
Right. Right, and even better, I've done it before. I'm gonna write down what needs to be done.
Yes.
And then I'm gonna give to you.
And I'll give it to you.
Exactly.
You know, and then like I think another thing I'm also struggling with is after I've given the instructions, coming back and making sure that it is done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just assuming that they will do it.
Yeah. I feel that. I love that. Thank you again for sharing that. I'm excited to. Because like I know who you are right now, but who Tito is going to be.
Yeah.
You know who Tito is striving to be. I'm very excited to witness that, to be on that journey with you as well.
Thank you.
You know, that's exactly what this is about. But acknowledging where we're at right now is very, very, very important. So on that note, do me a favor and just pick a question, any question, and yeah.
Is that one question?
Yeah, I just one question. And I think I'm also going to answer this question as well. Depends, actually.
So my question is, what is the most exciting thing that's happened this past year?
Ooh.
So 2021 or 2020?
This past year.
Past year.
Whatever that means to you.
So I think the most exciting thing, I'm a big family person. I'm a big family man. I think the most exciting thing that's happened to me this year, 2021, is really shedding my boyhood, like just shedding, like being a boy, like I no longer have a boy mindset. I'm very much a full-grown man now, and like I just remember that transition, like going through the transition, the steps of it, because it's like again, like you don't have no one's gonna be there like you are a man now. Like there you go. Like no one's gonna crown you for that. But I just remember I was around my mother, and I was in the grace of God, and it was just like a moment where I was just like, you know what, like I'm no longer a child. You know, like I've really like shed all my things that were given to me, and I've now built things of my own. I've built a foundation of my own, and a foundation that supports people. And like I'm on a mission, and I need to continue finishing, you know, to focus on this mission and to follow through with this, and recognizing that like as a man, like it is my job to build a foundation so that like these pillars can be built on it. You know, so like just really, I think that's been the most exciting thing for me, honestly, because it's like I don't really find too much excitement in the outwardly things. Like I really find some of the most exciting things is when I go deep inside of me and find shit that I never knew existed.
Right. Yeah. I love that. Dang. Oh yeah. I honestly had to say this, like this show, because, and I feel like I bring it up every episode now, but God gave me this vision in 2019. Well, he gave me the name in 2019. And then the idea or the details didn't come together until the beginning of this year. And I remember writing in my journal in both January and March, it was like, bro, like this has to be done. Like it's not, you know, any back and forth. Like this literally has to be done, and it has to be done this year. So I don't care what. No, seriously, this is my golden year. Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it only made sense for me to start it now. But for me, I get trapped in that analysis paralysis, and where I think about things over and over and over again, and I don't ever do anything. I have so many drafts. I have so many things I haven't put out there or even tried because of, you know, fear of failure, all these things. But with this show specifically, I'm just proud that I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm doing something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. And yeah, so that I would say that this is like the most exciting thing.
And I feel like it's been put onto my heart to kind of just offer this to you.
Yeah.
I think once you get to a point where you've created all of this and you just need some help with like what the next steps are business-wise, just reach out to me.
It's on camera, people.
You heard it here.
Like, you heard it here first.
Really, because like I'm very much like
I like the TikTok TV. When I was looking up shit, I was like, what?
Thank you.
I think
I like you. Like
I think I need the help that Tito wants to offer. Okay.
I really appreciate that, because like I really, you know, like I remember our conversations and you just talking about like how that area for you is just like your fears in that area, and how like you just don't want to deal with like this negative people, and how that space has like a negative energy, which it does. Like it does have a negative energy, but it's like there are good people in there, and I think that's what I'm trying to champion. Is that, you know, business is not bad.
Right. It doesn't have to be.
It does not have to be bad. Like let me show you something. Like, all right, this is $1.
I knew West pull out $1.
$1.
I'll hold it for you.
Do something bad. I just told $1 to do something bad. Did anything happen yet, guys?
No.
Yeah. Right? Now, if I took this $1 and used this $1 to oppress somebody, that's bad. If I took this $1 and gave this as an offering to you, which it is, I want you to keep that $1. Real shit. This is good. Right? Because it's really me letting you know that, like, look, I see value in you, and like value, and this is what I really love about the Jewish culture, is that this is given to people, like money is given as a resource to find joy, find happiness.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that's how I look at it. That's how I look at business. In order for your lights to stay on, in order for you to take a shower, in order for you to eat good, healthy food that's gonna help you bring value into the people's world, you need to actually cover your bottom line.
Right.
But like what I see here with what you have, Rose, is that like this is like you've built out a passion-based project, and I see a passion-filled business here for you. So I would love to like be able to just like consult you or provide any advice, and it come from a place of like I like holiness, God. Like I'm not here to hurt you or anything like that. I really do want to see you thrive, and I really want to see more amazing fucking people on this fucking show. I really want to see you, you know, be able to get to a point where this is paying your bills, yeah, because you're good at it. You're good at it. You know, I was a little nervous because I'm like, I don't know where we're going with this, but then like, you know, just getting into the seat, you know, being in the environment, sharing space with you, the fucking, you know, column that we had to have, like, we couldn't have anything else. We had to be this column.
Has to be this one.
You know, the intentionality, the red seat, the closed bench, the tarantula. Bro, I love it. The snacks, the smoothie. Y'all, she got me a smoothie before this. Like, avocado mango smoothie. Like,
I made it.
She made it. Yeah. Not even bought it. Yeah. You know, so the value here is just like, yeah, man, it's unmatched. I really feel like, you know, there's a lot of gold has been, and this hour has been. Yeah, bro, good job. Good fucking job, bro. Look.
Thank you, Tito.
Yo, from fucking ideas, you talking about I want to do this, and now like being a part, like good fucking job.
Thank you. Oh,
Execute.
I appreciate that. I receive. I take that. Okay.
That's nice.
You know, it looks kind of, because it be looking kind of dirty sometimes, but it's not dirty. It's just the material. Any whore. So the next thing that I want to do is I've been having each guest pick a kind task to do. I've been saying over the next week, I would love for you to get this done, just to keep it, you know, top of mind for you. But if it's not in the week, just like, I want you to get this done, okay? This is coming from a list from the Live Life Nice brand. So shout out to Crispin Crosby and that brand. This is his Be Nice, Do Nice challenge, where they are inspiring 100,000 acts of nice. So just to do that, just to kind of pay it forward, pick a number between 1 and 497.
312.
Okay. I love it. Okay, your kind task is to, these are interesting. Leave power bars or granola bars in the gym locker room. Do you go to the gym? Is this something that you could do?
Gym, I do have a, yes, I can actually do that.
So this is your kind task, is to leave. Okay, I just think because we got COVID, and if I saw a granola bar in the locker room, I'd probably throw it away. So what's your second number?
So give me 212.
212, okay.
It's hilarious.
I thought 112. Everybody put your hands together. We're not doing copyright in here. Yeah, no. All right, 212. Ooh, leave a gas gift card for someone at the pump. Or
gas gift card.
Or you can pay for the person's gas behind you. But gas is expensive.
Bro, no, that's not a bad John. That's not a bad John.
Is that a good one?
That's not bad.
We'll keep it.
Yeah,
All right,
keep that
so
one.
pay for somebody's gas.
So pay for someone's gas.
Pay for someone's gas. You know what I'm saying? That's up to you.
Yo, I guess on some gas money.
That's totally up to you.
Yo,
All
bro,
right.
this is like $10. Here you go, bro. Just pull
It's something.
Bro, that's
You know what I'm
something.
saying?
Someone walked up to me and gave me $10 for gas.
Right.
You feel me?
Drinking God's plan video, but only $10. It's not
Like,
steady.
I don't got it like that. But like, here's a
Give
blessing.
me a hug, man. The camera's looking. Come on.
No,
You
but
got D-Ray.
Right.
D-Ray the director.
so with that, shout out to D-Ray, first of all.
Shout outs to D-Ray, aka Tarantula.
AKA Tarantula. Do you have any other shout outs that you want to give?
Shout outs to my mama, Margaret
Shout out
Mary
to
Orjih.
Mom.
I love you, Mom. Shout outs to my girlfriend.
Shout outs
Emma
to
Sadler.
girlfriend.
I love you. Shout outs to my business partner, Nia Primus. I love you too. Shout outs to Rose.
Oh,
I love you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Shout outs to Rec Philly.
Right.
I love y'all. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, we honestly just shout outs to like Philly as a whole, man. Like
Word.
Philly, diamond in the rough, really been in the rough for a long time. So the fact that we're all meeting here in Philadelphia, and doing this, I want to recognize that like we are all giving back to the city, and like I just. If we feel like it's not giving back exactly how, it's gonna pay itself off.
Yeah.
That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So just shout out to Philly, shout out to all the good people in Philly that are doing good things.
Yeah. Now shout out to everybody. Where can they find you and what can they expect from you next?
So where you can find me is you can go onto Instagram and you can look up Tit Talks. So it's TIT and then Talks.
Think it,
Right?
initiate it, talk it.
It started off as bullying. Kids would just take the O out of my name, call me Tit. And I was like, you know what?
I'm gonna turn this shit around.
I'm gonna turn this
And make
around.
money from it.
And make the year.
We are
Fuck y'all
24K
bullies.
later. Bitches.
Right?
Word.
So that's Tit Talks, and then you can look for the media network is going to be Tit Talks TV.
Okay.
And what you can expect from us next is that I've built another company called Oscar's Greenhouse, which is a hybrid recording studio that is based around providing a space to nurture new artists, but then also to help you with your recordings and your publishing after it's all done. So basically, how to get a return on your income. How to get a return on your investment after you spend all this money in the recording studio.
Word. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. Oscar's Greenhouse.
I love it. Do you have any final words for the people or questions for myself?
Final words. I don't think I really have any questions.
Okay.
But yeah, I have more. Just final words. Philly, yo. I really see big things coming out of the city. I really see big things coming out of you, Rose. And just keep on the watch out for her, D-Ray, the director. Right, Philly?
Very much so.
But yeah, that's basically it.
Oh, I love it. Dang. This was fun.
It's a
Y'all.
good time.
Oh, man.
This is a good time.
I got
This ain't no Wendy Williams. This ain't no stop.
This is not.
I
got $1.
She got $1.
That I'm keeping.
Please keep that shit, bro.
I will.
This is for this, man.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
I'm gonna take this on my wall as the
Real
first
shit.
money from Golden Hour.
Yeah.
But thank you, everybody. I understand that time is a resource that you cannot get back. So I thank you if you have made it this far in the episode. Thank you so much for spending time with myself and with Tito.
Yeah.
I just hope you guys walked away from this episode learning something. So with that, I'm gonna go because I'm hungry. But go out there and just have a great day. Go do something that your future self will thank you for and your past self will love you for.
Amen. Yo, that's fun.
Damn!
Yo, great fucking job. Great fucking job. You got some lungs, bro. I had one. And
You hear that? I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. I was like, oh, hey, stomach. All right. No, it's okay. It's okay.
Good?
Okay.
Try now.
Yo, your feedback means the absolute world to me. I would love to hear about how you felt about this episode. Leave your comments below, shoot me a DM. I wanna know. I really wanna know how you feel about this. Also, if there is a certain topic that you want us to talk about, if there are certain questions that you want me to ask, please let me know. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram at @itfrozegolden or in the email at info@rosexgolden.com. Information will be below, so no worries on that, okay? Thank you so much. I love you.